today we're revisiting this awesome WRX STI that our customer Aaron brought us originally for a tune on a completely fresh IAG long block. And as you can hear, she's running nice and smooth. So a couple of changes that we made to it, just to run down. This is tuned on a Cobb platform using a flex fuel sensor, a whole bunch of other sensors, and we added a boost controller today, as well as retuning it for higher boost. So on the low boost setting, it's running about 1 bar, and then on the high boost setting, we're running about 25 psi. So it's a pretty decent jump in boost, and you know, we wanted to maximize the setup for that. So we're going to be throwing it on the dyno. We're looking for north of 400 wheel horsepower now. In the low 4s would be good, and that would indicate that we've made a pretty big jump. This car on the low boost setting made like 340, but in the mid-range it was pretty, it was lacking a little bit. So we're going to see a huge jump in that mid-range, and the rest of the power curve is just going to be nice and robust. So let's go ahead and load it up and get this thing cranking. If you guys have never seen how one of these works, here's the boost controller. We didn't mount it yet because the owner hasn't told us where they want it mounted, but it's all installed and set up. And the access port here shows all of your pertinent data. If you have one of these cars, I highly recommend getting yourself a Cobb access port. Works really well and allows us to dial everything in. You can monitor everything on here: fuel pressure, ethanol content, everything set up. So a really comprehensive tuning platform for these cars. So let's load it up on the dyno and see what she does. That's not bad. That's actually a pretty good number for this car, and pretty happy about that. That's over 500 at the flywheel. So boost is at about 24 pounds of boost, 24 to 25. That's where we're going to be with this car on high boost, the 85, and on low boost for 93, it's only going to be about 15 psi, which was about 340 horsepower, 345. So big increase. Really happy with the setup. This motor really feels good, and the customer is really going to enjoy it. So we'll make a couple more tuning pulls, but that's the gist of it right there. For those of you who haven't seen my beloved Dusty, this is my R32 GTR, Dusty, we call it. Got a lot of big things coming for this car. HCAS has sent us a care package, a couple of care packages actually, and here's a set of fresh floor mats, HCAS floor mats, huh? Really nice. I don't know if you can get these anymore. These were kind of a limited edition thing, but we got that, and well, we've got some parts coming for this car. We'll talk about it in a few other videos when I get here. But basically, we've got a set of coilovers coming for it. It's a brand new set of coilovers that HCAS just finished doing, and we've got a coil upgrade for the ignition, amongst other things. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen this car yet, you guys need to go check out some of the older videos on the channel. I won't get into too much detail, but it's about 700 horsepower, and it really moves for what it is. It's got carbon doors. It's a really ultralight car, and just a really fun car on the street. So stay tuned for more on that. But either way, let's listen to her. Yeah. Let her warm up a minute. I'm going to call this car dusty because it's always dusty. It's always got dust on it. It had dust on it when I got it. I never really clean it. I just kind of keep it how it is. But you can see a whole host of stuff under here. Listen to that. It's like Darth Vader. So we've got the Okada Project coils on it right now, but we're going to switch them out for the new HKS ones. Get that going. This is running a Haltech ECU, and there's a ton of stuff on it, but most of it's HKS stuff, as you can see. So we're slowly getting everything HKS on it. Tribute hood, just did that for fun. And see Dusty right there. We got the Volk. These are GR2 wheels, really light. Brembos. Look at that, DBA rotors, 2-piece rotors. So she stops really well. She's got a lot of stop to match the go. Titanium exhaust. You can really hear it. Night stars. Sounds so good. Nothing beats that sound. I love it. So stay tuned. We got a lot more coming for this car, and some dusty updates. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. Oh yeah, look at these carbon doors, huh? Super light. Everything is just ultra lightweight on this thing. Such a good car. In scooter news, this thing might actually get a workout. You want to know why? Because our boy Ruddy is on the mend, and he's on the way back home. Little birdie told me that. I talked to him. He's on his way back. Anyway, when he gets back, I am going to make it a priority to put his scooters, whatever he's got, completely back together and get that thing ready to go, because I want to be able to go on this little mini scooter adventure. I'm not giving up on it. It sounds fun. I'm all into it. The weather is fantastic. We can't ask for a better scenario. So I'll probably take that one. This one is awesome, as you guys probably have already seen all the videos. But this one is definitely more the road, what's the word? Road warrior. It's more comfortable really to ride. This one is really upright, racy, real high strung engine, 35 horsepower motor that's just out of control strong. If you haven't seen the videos on this, make sure you go watch it. It's a modified RC1. So Malossi makes this 94cc RC1 that replaces the 49cc in these bikes, and it's about a 25 to 30 horsepower motor stock, or I should say originally from Malossi when you put it together. But I've reconfigured quite a few things. I've done some case porting. I've changed a couple of things. I did some modifications to the reeds, carburetor modifications, a bunch of different things, just to squeeze a little more power out of it. We've also custom tuned it, mapped it, different timing map, and it's an overall incredible setup. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat, maybe even faster if I could get the front wheel to stay on the ground. Just a ton of power. It does a wheelie from 50 miles an hour. It's just crazy fast. Awesome bike. Big shout out to scootertuning.ca for hooking it up with that, helping me with this setup. But this one, on the other hand, is more cruisable. This is probably about a 15 horsepower setup. I think it was like 15 or 16 horsepower to the wheel. And it does really well. Can go 70 miles an hour, no problem. Cruises, you know, for all of the beach lines, beach roads, A1A, that type of stuff, no problem. 40, 50 miles an hour is no sweat for this thing. And it can do it all day long because it is a rugged, old school GY6 engine that we've upgraded, obviously, to a 172cc setup. Forward-facing carburetor, 30 millimeter OKO with an A9 cam, and a few other little tricks. Got an upgraded head, big valve head and stuff. So a really cool little setup. If you guys hadn't seen the videos for this, Rudnik blew it up on nitrous. I sent it home with him last winter. Or I think it was last winter or before last, I don't know. But I sent it home with him, and he blew it up promptly with nitrous. It was not his fault, just we a little underestimated the nitrous setup. But either way, we put it back together. I mean, when I say I put it back together, the connecting rod was bent. I bent it back with a breaker bar, okay? So this thing is just a horse. I'm just really kicking it to death. So still runs great though, no problems. So I'm not gonna argue with that. And I mounted my big fuel tank for a long range. So ready to go. Happy to have Rudnik back. Get here safe, bud. And we will see you in the next one.